Hello everyone, I welcome you again for our subject Computer Organization and Architecture. In the very first topic, we have seen about the computer types and functional units. So in the functional units, we have seen about the instructions. Okay, so instruction is a program is the set of instructions. So to execute a program, we need to store that program either into the memory or straight away to we have to feed the program to the processor. So we can give the input straight away to the processor for processing, and we must definitely store the program in the memory. Okay, so how the processor executes the program means it fetches the information from the memory and the processor executes it, and the processed information is passed either to the output device or again it will be stored again in the computer, I mean in the inside the memory. Okay, so the program of course takes input from the user. So those inputs are provided to the processor in terms of operands. Okay, those are called as data values, and that data can be represented as operands. So that can be either that value can be either fetched from the memory, or that can be given to the processor for processing directly from the input devices. And we have seen in the previous topic about the number of input devices, output devices, memory, arithmetic and logic unit, and control unit. So arithmetic and logic unit and control unit comprised of a processor. Okay, so today in our topic we are going to discuss the basic operational concepts of the computer system, and one more topic, bus structure. Okay, so here we are going to see how an operation is carried out inside the processor. Okay, consider here one example is given. Consider this as an instruction. Okay, add location A comma R0. Okay, so here the instruction is addition. So add, this is the instruction, and what it says, it adds two operands. So these location A and R0 are the operands. So location A is nothing but the first operand that is stored in the memory, that has to be fetched to the fetched and processed by the ALU. So okay, location A is nothing but the first operand. It says the address. Okay, so when we fetch an instruction from the memory, so that instruction is stored in the memory. So that instruction has an address in the memory. So here location A says the address. In that address operand is available that needs to be fetched, and R0. So R0 is the register. So inside the processor some general purpose registers are available to handle the arithmetic and logic unit operations. So here R0 is the register that has some value already in that R0 register. Okay, so here what's happening is after fetching the operand values, addition is performed. Okay, so the in this location location A there is an data value or the operand, and R0 there is a value. Both the values are added and the result is again stored in R0. Okay, so the previous value of R0 is overridden by this output. After adding location A value and R0, the result is stored in R0, whereas location A's value is preserved. In the sense its content is not altered. Okay, so these are the steps involved for executing this single instruction. So instruction is instruction means the this instruction. Okay, this is the one instruction. This instruction a set of instruction is said to be a program. So to execute a single instruction in a program, this is the step the modern computer system follows. So instruction is fetched from the memory to the processor, and the operand at location A is fetched and added to the content of the OR NOT. The result is again stored in the OR NOT, or either that can be stored in the memory also. Okay, so today's modern computer system that has split the above instruction into this two instruction for performance reason. So related to performance of how to increase the performance of a computer system, we will be dealing it in the forthcoming units. Okay, so for the modern computers today, it has split the above instruction into this two types of two instructions, load and add, to perform that same operation. Okay, so load location A comma or not. Here it means the location A is nothing but the memory address. So in that memory address there is a data that needs to be fetched. That fetched operand value is stored in the processor register R1 here. Okay, so general purpose register, some collection of registers are there. So register is nothing but again a memory which is very fast, which is inbuilt inside the processor. And we have seen about the memories like cache memory, main memory, RAM, then secondary memory. So here register is on kind of a memory which is very fast and it is limited to a few numbers. Okay, registers are not bigger in size. Okay, it is limited to a few number of registers. So the main purpose of register is used for some arithmetic and some arithmetic and logical operations. Okay, so the first instruction is loading the value from this location to R1 register and add R1 comma R0. So here R0 is having the value already, and both the values gets added and the result is again stored back into the R0. Okay, so and later the R0 value can be stored into the memory, or that could be displayed as an output. Okay, so here R0 holds the final value after the addition. So here there comes one question. So whose content will be overridden? Okay, so it means what are the whether the register values will be overridden or the value in this location will be overridden. I think you could answer it very quickly. Yes, of course you are right. Location A's value will be preserved and only the register values R0 and R1 will be overridden. Okay. And moving on to the connection between the processor and the memory. So inside the this is the processor part and this is the memory, and to have a communication between this processor and memory, this connection, so this bidirectional connection, it says about bus. So bus means don't take it literally for which we are using for transportation. Here again in computer system that the same bus is used for transportation, but the transportation is not for the passengers but for the data between the different functional units of the computer system, like here memory and the processor. So inside the processor, as I said earlier, there is an ALU and control unit. Apart from that, some general purpose registers are there to carry out the ALU operations, to store the values temporarily, and once when the power is switched off, the values will be removed. The register values are volatile. It means the values won't be stored permanently in the registers. Okay, so some general purpose registers are there inside the processor. Apart from that, there are registers like IR. IR means instruction register. So when we fetch an instruction from the memory, that instruction is stored in the instruction register and later that will be decoded and executed. Okay, and we have a special register, some special registers like PC. PC is nothing but program counter. So program counter is nothing but, as I told you, if we want to run a program, so program is nothing but the set of instructions. So the instructions will be executed one by one. Okay, so what's the sole purpose of PC? PC means don't take it as a personal computer. Here this is the register program counter. So what the program counter will do is it will hold the address of the next instruction to be executed. So suppose take an example of a program of 5 lines. Okay, the very first line, so if you want to execute that program, the processor must know the starting address of that first line of the program. So PC, program counter, will hold that address, and while executing that first line, the PC program counter will be automatically incremented to hold the address of the next instruction. Okay, and that's the sole purpose of the program counter. You just have it. PC is nothing but a program counter that holds the address of the next instruction to be executed by the processor, and followed by some more registers like memory address register, MAR, MDR, memory data register. So these two are the special register. Those two registers are the one that will communicate directly with the memory. These registers inside the processor, like R1, R2, or not up to Rn-1, these registers, PC registers, IR, these registers won't directly contact with the memory. Only these two registers have the rights to contact with the memory. This will hold the address of the memory location, MAR, and in that address there are some data or the content. That content will be placed only in this memory data register. So apart from this, no other registers will contact the memory. And of course we have the control signals, control unit, which controls when to read the data or when to write the data. Okay, the signals will be enabled to the memory, then only reading and writing operation will take place. Okay, so and here the processor is today the modern processors are made of very large scale integrated chips, okay, with the cache memory inbuilt in it. Okay, so this is the connection between the processor and the memory. Okay, and now we will be moving on to I think we have discussed all these registers present inside the processor. Okay, so don't forget it, these are the registers present inside the processor. Instruction register to hold the instruction where the instruction is fetched from the memory. That instruction is stored in the processor via this IR. And program counter to hold the address of the next instruction. General purpose register to perform arithmetic calculations, to move the data in and out. These registers are used to hold the values. And we have memory address register and memory data register, and followed by the typical operating steps. It's quite important to know how a single instruction is fetched from the memory and it gets executed. Okay, so it seems to be a numerous step to execute a single instruction by the computer system. Okay, so generally the programs which we type will be by means of an input device get stored in the memory. And as I told you in the previous class itself, when we want to execute a program, that program must reside in the main memory called as RAM. Okay, then only the program will execute. If our memory is in secondary storage device, that needs to be fetched and to be stored in the main memory, then only the program will start its execution. Okay, so whenever when something is running in our computer system, those things are those content or those programs are those softwares are residing in the main memory. Okay, so program is nothing but set of instruction. Okay, so PC is a program counter that will hold the starting address of the program. Okay, starting address of the first instruction. Okay, so then the PC content which has the starting address of the first instructions are transferred to the memory address register. As I told you, PC has no direct contact with the memory. Only these registers, memory address register and memory data register, will do that contact with the memory. So in memory address register, the first instruction is placed, then the control unit will enable the read signal. So read signal means the memory is used for reading purpose, not for storing or writing. Okay, the first instruction is read out, and that content, whatever the content in the memory location is present in the memory, that is stored into the memory address register, not to any registers or IR. Okay, so only the content will be stored only in the memory address register, and from there it will move to the instruction register. So it will fetch the first instruction and via MDR, and the same is transferred to the IR, and now the processor will decode what that instruction is, whether that instruction is for manipulating some arithmetic and logic unit like addition, subtraction, multiplication, or some store instruction or move instruction. That instruction needs to be decoded. Okay, so after decoding, the instruction gets executed. Suppose if that instruction fetched something like add or add location A comma or not, here we need to again fetch the operand values. Okay, so how to fetch the operand values, as we have seen in the previous slide. So the operand value will reside either in the general purpose register, or we need to fetch that operand from the memory. Okay, so in memory, the location A, as I said in the previous instruction, add location A comma or not. So location A holds the address of the operand that is to be stored again to the memory address register, and the control signal has to be initiated as read and followed by fetching the content, and that gets stored into the memory data register, and that will be moved to the arithmetic and logic unit, and finally the operation takes place for this single instruction execution. Okay, and once the operation is over, we will have the output. So that output is either stored again in the general purpose register, or we can store it in the main memory. So again, for storing into the main memory, which location we need to store that output. So that location will be given to the MER, memory address register, and write signal is enabled in this time, not the read. Okay, read is used to fetch the instruction from the main memory, whereas write is used to write the data or the content into the memory. Okay, so where the content is placed in the memory data register, this content is written to the memory by enabling the write signal of the by the control unit. Okay, so all these operations are coordinated each other by means of control unit. Okay, so while this single instruction add location A comma or not is happening, so in the background PC program counter will automatically increment to the next instruction. So PC will always hold the address of the next instruction to be executed by the program. Okay, hope you all understood the basic operational steps for a single instruction execution of the program. And there is one more concept called as an interrupt. Interrupt in the sense, while executing that instruction, there may be a chance of interrupt, like something goes wrong, or some a monitoring system issues a dangerous signal that needs an immediate attention rather than going for the normal flow of execution. So there comes the concept called as interrupt. Okay, interrupt means disturbing the normal flow of the computer system's execution. Okay, so if an interrupt is happening, what will happen? The current flow has to be preserved so that it will be resumed later on. Okay, after the interrupt has been serviced, is it not? So what happens is, while normal execution, if an interrupt is coming, means that needs to be addressed by means of a special routine or special program called as ISR, interrupt service routine. So when an interrupt is happening, ISR is the one that will service the interrupt, and once that's after servicing that interrupt, the computer system has to get back to its normal flow. Okay, so So while interrupt is happening, the current information has to be backed up, in the sense that needs to be stored. Okay, stored in the sense the content in PC, general purpose register, control information or any other information, all those things has to be stored before servicing the interrupt. Okay, and after servicing the interrupt, these contents will be restored to execute the normal flow of our program. Okay, and these are the operational steps, basic operational steps we have seen. And now moving on to the next important topic called as bus structure. As I introduced you in the previous topic about bus, so don't take bus as a literal meaning of transporting the people from one place to another place. It is a similar kind of that. In computer system, the bus is used to transport data from one functional unit to another functional unit. For example, we need to fetch the content from memory for processing in the processor. So after fetching, that needs to be traveled to the ALU, is it not? So how that traveling is happen means by means of bus. Okay, so bus is a way to connect different parts of the functional units of the computer. Okay, so bus in the sense it has wires. Okay, for as I told you, your data could be stored in the computer system in terms of ones and zeros, binary system, is it not? For example, if your data is of 8-bit number, you will be having 8 lines indicating each bit for one line. Okay, all the 8 lines has to be traveled simultaneously. So the group of 8 lines will connect the data transfer between the memory and processor, or between any two functional units. Okay, so we have the bus like address bus, data bus and control bus, is it not? So to carry the address, okay, in memory address register we will be having the address of the memory that need to be traveled to the memory. Okay, so how that is happening means by means of address bus. There is a separate bus for carrying the data, carrying the address and control signals. Okay, so control signal has to be passed. Okay, for reading memory content, read signal has to be enabled. That signal is indicated to the memory from control unit via control bus. Okay, so bus is used to connect the different functional units of the computer system to carry out the data smoothly. And speed issues will arise in bus because speed of each and every components of a computer system is varied. As I said, processor is of very high speed, and memory, of course, these are all electronic devices, whereas electromechanical devices like input devices and output devices, printer, keyboards are electromechanical devices. Those are slow when compared to memory and processor. Okay, so while transferring data between this slow device to the fast device, what's happening, the performance gets down because the high processing unit has to wait, is it not? Okay, so to solve the issue, there comes the common approach called as using buffer register. Okay, so buffer register is one way of resolving the speed between the different functional units of the computer system. For example, to print some document, we need to issue the content. The memory has to issue the content to the printer. Okay, printer is a slow device. Okay, so the common approach to cope up with the speed is inside the printer there are some registers. Okay, temporary storage mechanism, buffers are buffers will help to store that document in the printer, and the printer will take the document from the printer and start printing it. So in the while printing it, the processor can move to some other task. Okay, it can move to perform some other task quickly between the devices. Okay, so buffer registers is one way to resolve the speed issues between slow operating device like electromechanical devices like keyboard, printer, and fast functional units like memory and processor. Okay, so in this way the processor can increase its performance by switching rapidly to other devices and perform its service. Okay, so hope you all understood the basic operational concept of executing an instruction and bus structure. Okay, so with this our session is getting to the end, and I have given a little assessment. Hope you will know by looking at the picture, everybody could answer what that picture is. Okay, so that's it about today's class. We'll meet you in the next session. Thank you.